So the idea that they're putting this nudge and this seeding and pushing a group called Labour together have been advocating a Brit card. Sounds really cool, like Britpop. But actually, what it's going to mean is more of what we've already seen, Paul, right? What we've already seen in the last 5 years is attempts to suffocate and censor. We've had spy units sent out to look at posts to shadow ban and suffocate. One was called the Rapid Response Unit from the Cabinet, the British government. Another was called the Counter Disinformation Unit, which has been resuscitated. Of
Yeah.
course, the disinformation is only disinformation that they think is disinformation, not the things that they might be putting out themselves. So you've got these things that have been happening in the last 5 years where we've seen people were locked down. We've had all sorts of things said to us which turn out not to be true. We've seen the lockdown files, the Twitter files. We've seen all these things come through about how things have been done by the state. We all were watching in New Zealand and Australia some of the horrifying images. I mean, like places that we often thought, well, I certainly thought, oh, I could, like, that might be a lovely place to live and
Bold
just go.
hole. Yeah.
Yeah. And you think, gosh, that when you saw all of that, we saw what happened to the truckers in Canada, we saw what happened with Trudeau, and we've seen debanking already, we've seen censoring, cancelling, we've seen state surveillance, we see increasing facial digital ID being used by our police. None of this was in the manifesto. The idea that we have a centralised, digitised state, a biometric state that is looking at all of us, tracking everything we do, surveying, and then saying, well, that social post was no good. We've already had people imprisoned for social media posts. This isn't what could happen. This is things that have been happening. But then you weaponize it with a centralized digital ID system, and you say, well, these guys have been posting, that's a bit off. Their carbon footprint, they've been maybe eating a bit too much meat, going on a few too many trips,
Yeah.
doing a bit too much shopping. They haven't got the right kind of ideas. All of these things, the CEO of the Bank of International Settlements made the point. With a digital currency, a central bank digital currency, you could track every single transaction that anyone ever does. And the whole idea is that we're constantly more of a barcode. We're to be tracked and surveyed, and we're potential criminals, everyone. Facial ID. They say, well, it will stop crime. And all of this to be underpinned by a state digital ID.